Welcome to Whispering Cabins, where we share cozy horror tales of ghosts, folklore, and forgotten places. So grab a blanket, light a candle, and settle in. The night is waiting. Tonight, we tell the story of the boy in Ashgrove. The town of Ashgrove always looked the same, no matter the season. Quaint cottages with ivy climbing their chimneys, cobbled streets lined with lamplight, and a small square where people gathered for weekly markets. It was the kind of place where doors were left unlocked, where neighbours baked too many pies and left them on your doorstep, where children played until the church bell rang for supper. But Ashgrove had one rule, spoken softly to newcomers and taught firmly to children. Never answer when the boy calls your name. No one remembered exactly when he had come. The oldest resident said he'd always been there, a shadow of a child who darted through the alleyways and across the town green at dusk. He looked about 7 years old, round cheeks, brown hair flopping into his eyes, always wearing a threadbare coat and muddy boots as if he'd just come in from play. His laugh was the kind you'd hear on a spring afternoon, bright and clear. But the laugh never came from where you expected. Sometimes it echoed down a well, or rang from the branches of the elm tree by the square, or carried through your own chimney late at night. And then he'd say your name. The blacksmith's wife once told a newcomer that the boy had called for her when she was a girl. He sounded just like my brother, she whispered, eyes glassy. I almost answered, but I bit my tongue. And when I didn't speak, I saw him, standing outside my window, smiling at me through the glass. What happened to those who answered? The townsfolk didn't know for certain, only that they disappeared. Some were children, others grown men and women, but all were gone by morning, with no trace left behind. Despite this, Ashgrove never felt like a place of terror. The market still bustled. The air always smelled of bread from the bakery, and visitors often commented how cozy the town seemed. It was the sort of place you wanted to linger. The townspeople were warm, though their smiles held a hint of caution, like a secret tucked behind their teeth. One autumn evening, when the fog curled thick around the cobblestones, a little girl named Charlotte was walking home from her grandmother's house. She held her lantern carefully, listening to the sound of her own footsteps. That was when she heard it, a child's laugh carried on the mist. Then, softly, as though from just behind her, Charlotte. Her heart thumped. She gripped the lantern tighter and walked faster, remembering the rule. Don't answer. The boy's voice followed her. Charlotte, wait for me. Let's play. She hurried up the lane, her small boots clicking against the stone. The voice grew closer, warmer, almost like her cousins when they played hide and seek. At last, she reached her front door. Her father was waiting on the porch, a pipe in hand. His face paled when he saw her trembling. He didn't need to ask what had happened. He only placed a hand on her shoulder and whispered, "Good girl." He kept quiet. From the edge of the street, the boy was watching. He smiled, his face soft and round, his eyes shining like candlelight. Then he vanished into the fog. Life went on in Ashgrove. Children grew up, families grew old, markets continued in the square. But the boy never left. He was part of the town, as constant as the church bell, as familiar as the ivy on the chimneys. People learned to live with him, baking bread, tending gardens, singing hymns, while always carrying that quiet rule in their hearts. Never answer when the boy calls your name, for he is waiting, always waiting, to make a new friend. And in Ashgrove, everyone knew, sooner or later, he would call for you. Thank you for joining us tonight at Whispering Cabins where we tell cozy horror tales. If you enjoyed The Boy in Ashgrove, be sure to subscribe for more eerie stories. Until next time, keep warm, keep the lantern lit, and listen closely. Sometimes the shadows have stories to tell.